Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Back again with yet another installment of As the Ex-Mogul Turns. So yesterday, 7 lawsuits were released by the Buzbee Law Firm and the Ava Law Group. We went through 5 of those lawsuits here on this channel, and out of those 5 lawsuits, there were a few celebrities that were not named, and they allegedly did dirt right alongside Diddy, and we were upset. We were like, look, they need to be named. They need to stand trial right along with them. Now, the majority of us felt like the celebrities that were not mentioned in these lawsuits were the ones that Buzbee said quietly paid these victims off, and honestly, that's not fair. And one of the judges that is handling these 7 cases, United States District Judge Jesse M. Furman, is agreeing right along with us. He's like, bring them out, bring them out. He is wanting the names of all parties that were not mentioned in the complaint. So we're going to dive into that, and I'm honestly hoping that all of the other judges follow suit. And we're also going to read one of the 2 complaints that we did not get to read yesterday. And I want to talk to you about Diddy's attorneys going back and forth with the prosecution. Baby, it's getting dirty behind the scenes. Diddy's hotshot appeal attorney, Alexander Shapiro, is going off on the government. The government gave them 100 terabytes worth of information, and that doesn't even include the information that they're going to have to give them once this superseding indictment comes about. And they want them to go to that nasty jail, having to deal with the jail's time constraints because they can only meet with Diddy for a short period of time and have all of this completed by Cinco de Mayo, Diddy's trial date. His team doesn't feel like they have enough time.
Make it enough.
We are going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So we went through 5 of Buzbee's 7 cases that were released yesterday, and they were all disturbing, but I believe the one that disturbed us the most is the one regarding the 13-year-old who tried to get into the VMAs but was unable to do so. She saw one of Diddy's limo drivers, who later picked her up, brought her to Diddy's home, where she said she was not only essayed by Diddy, but one of his male celebrity friends and a female celebrity watch. So when I saw that the judge was requesting that the names of the celebrities be released, I was thinking it was for this case, but unfortunately it was not. Now, we all know that Tony Buzbee is a seasoned attorney and more than likely can file these cases in his sleep. However, these cases that he recently filed all are using John and Jane Doe as pseudonyms, and unfortunately, a plaintiff may not proceed anonymously unless they first seek and receive permission from the court to do so. So Judge Furman says this: Rule 10A of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedures requires that all the parties be named in the title of the complaint. Plaintiff did not seek leave to file his complaint using pseudonyms. Plaintiff shall file a motion seeking leave to proceed under pseudonyms no later than October 25, 2024. Failure to comply with the court's instruction will result in dismissal of the complaint without prejudice to refiling and without further notice to the parties. Moreover, to ensure that the court has no conflicts that would require recusal, plaintiff shall promptly file under seal a declaration disclosing his identity and the identity of any other party that is not named in the complaint to the court. To ensure that his name does not appear on the public docket, plaintiff's counsel should ensure that the declaration is titled Declaration of John Doe. No summons shall issue until the court resolves whether plaintiff may proceed pseudonymously. So this case has to deal with a John Doe that met Diddy in 2022. He came to Diddy's home for a party. He felt comfortable because he saw other celebrities there. Once at the door, he was offered a drink and was told that he had to drink it in order to attend the party, and unfortunately he did, and that drink was probably the drink that sealed his fate for that night. Because of the man being gone off of whatever narcotic was put in his drink, he could not control himself. He stated that Diddy performed unconsensual oral sex on him, and because this man no longer had control of himself, he alleged that Diddy had him perform oral sex on a celebrity. The judge is wanting that celebrity's information out here so there won't be any possibility that he could be recused from the case, and I agree with him. Now, although we may not be able to see the name because it will more than likely be under seal, that does not mean that the feds won't be able to see it and be able to go after this individual. So it looks like we have 1 down and 2 more to go, because that other lawsuit had 2 other celebrities in it, and we don't know who that may be. So let's pick up on one of the lawsuits that we missed yesterday. Factual allegations. At the time of the incident described, plaintiff actively participated in the music scene and operated a private security service. Because of plaintiff's security service, he was well respected in the industry and maintained strong connections with various artists across the country. High-profile musicians often sought his services, trusting him and his security service. Plaintiff managed a crew of approximately 85 individuals, primarily based in New York. He typically staffed about 10 members of his team to major events to ensure adequate security for artists. On or about August 25, 2005, plaintiff, then 21, attended an event at a music studio in Harlem, New York, near 142nd Street. The studio was a known location frequented by influential figures in the music industry, including prominent rap artists. The studio regularly hosted gatherings of rap artists and industry insiders. Plaintiff understood that Combs would be attending. Plaintiff attended the event with his wife. The gathering quickly evolved into a typical industry party, with attendees consuming alcohol and smoking marijuana. However, plaintiff and his wife refrained from doing either, as plaintiff wanted to present himself as a professional, demonstrating that he was someone others could trust and rely on in hopes of earning their business, especially Combs's business. During the event, someone informed plaintiff that Combs had taken an interest in his security operation and was considering hiring him for future events. Combs then approached plaintiff and asked him if they could talk about business in another room. As he did so, Combs insisted the plaintiff join him for a drink. Plaintiff politely declined, viewing the situation as a professional opportunity. Combs pressed him repeatedly, saying, "When do you get to drink with the millionaire?" Combs persisted, not wanting to be rude and hoping to earn Combs' trust and ultimately business. Plaintiff gave in and took a drink from Combs. Plaintiff felt uncomfortable with the situation, but continued his conversation with Combs, viewing it as a valuable business opportunity. After finishing his drink, plaintiff began feeling dizzy, weak, and confused, far beyond what he would expect from having consumed a single drink. It became clear to him that something was wrong. He knew at some point that Combs had drugged him. A photograph of an actual exemplary container used by Combs and or his agents or employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below. During this time, plaintiff's wife left the room to use the bathroom, and the other guests also exited, leaving plaintiff alone with Combs. In this moment, with no one else present, Combs approached plaintiff in an inappropriate manner. Combs moved closer and without warning or consent, reached into plaintiff's pants and grabbed plaintiff's Johnson and genitals. Combs then began to manipulate and attempted to masturbate plaintiff's Johnson. Plaintiff tried to resist, but Combs forcefully continued and told him to take it easy and let it kick in, implying that the alcohol or another substance would relax plaintiff and make him more compliant. The assault abruptly ended when plaintiff's wife returned to the room. She immediately saw what was happening and intervened, stopping the assault. Realizing he had been caught, Combs tried to downplay the situation. He pretended to help plaintiff in some way, disguising his behavior as an act of assistance. Shocked and upset by the event, plaintiff and his wife quickly decided to leave the studio. They exited the building and took the train home, trying to process the traumatic incident that had just occurred. The assault left a lasting impact on plaintiff. After the incident, he made the difficult decision to leave his career in security, where he had excelled and built a strong reputation. The emotional and psychological toll of the assault continues to affect his mental health. Plaintiff actively grapples with the emotional scars and the consequences it has brought to his personal and professional life. From the sounds of it, if any of these lawsuits are true, it just seems like Diddy is a very sick individual that gets off on not only taking advantage of you, but just groping you as well. Now, we've been talking about Diddy's hotshot appeal attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, and 3 weeks ago, she filed an appeal in appellate court on Diddy's behalf. And in that appeal, she disagreed with the district court, siding with the prosecution, stating that Diddy obstructed justice and tampered with witnesses. She believes there were no factual basis to those findings, and the law was misapplied. She also feels that the district court erred in concluding that no conditions would reasonably assure the safety of any other persons in the community. Pretty much when Diddy gave up that bail package that said, "I'll stay at home, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to be a bother to anybody," the court didn't believe him.
Now y'all gonna act like y'all don't know nobody, huh? It's me.
So the government came back and was like, look, I'm sorry your client is a monster, but he's intimidated way too many of our witnesses and he does not belong out here on the streets. And these are the reasons why. So Alexandra then filed a motion with the court to put the current appeal that she filed in abeyance, pretty much put it on hold, and they were going to refile in district court because some new information came up in the midnight hour. However, Diddy has never refiled. He's not letting them know what that new information is. And now the district court is coming out and they're like, look, we're tired of your games. Stop playing. Let's get to work. So to summarize this document, the government came in and was like, look, Combs requested to pause his appeal while he considers filing a new motion in district court, and this should be rejected. He already filed his appeal 3 weeks ago, and since then, both sides have already submitted their argument, with oral arguments set to happen in 16 days, which happens to be November 4th, Diddy's 55th birthday. They're like, Diddy is claiming he wants to file a new request for pretrial release based on some new information, but he hasn't actually done that yet. And even if he does, it would be a separate issue from the current appeal and will require different legal consideration. They're stating that Diddy's attorney cited a couple of cases to support this request. However, those don't apply to this situation. The only change since his bail has been denied is that the case has been assigned to a new judge, and that is not enough reason to reopen the bail determination. So Alexandra came back and was like, look, contrary to the government's opposition, Mr. Combs' renewed bail request will be based on significant changed circumstances that could not be presented to the district court at the initial bail hearing. These circumstances include inter alia, constitutional concerns stemming from his conditions of confinement, and evidence contained in recently produced discovery. Now, to summarize her document, she's stating there's new circumstances, including issues with his prison conditions that prevent him from adequately reviewing a huge amount of evidence because the government has brought them nearly 100 terabytes of data, which stem from about 97 different devices. Now, they're saying that he needs to be able to work with his lawyers to be able to prepare his defense, but this is very difficult under the current conditions that he's living in, so they are wanting him out to be able to have the time to work with him. Mr. Combs believes that the court should grant the stay to avoid wasting time on the appeal that could be rendered moot by his new bail application. He also points out that the government's claims against him don't hold up when considering the new evidence they've gathered. Essentially, he's asking for the court to pause the appeal process until the district court can reconsider his bail situation based on this new information. However, he is not ready to file this new appeal yet because they do not have enough time to meet with him to go over all of these documents and see how they can properly fight him, allegedly. With Diddy always being the type of person that always gets what they want, and when they can't, they just pay for it, and it's not happening now. He wants to get out of jail and nothing is working. The money, no bribery, no nothing. He cannot get out and it is pissing him off. And I know he is going off on those attorneys and they are trying everything they can to get this man out and nothing is working. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about everything going on in the world of Diddy, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Once again, thanks for watching. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.